This video is brought to you by Christ Episcopal Church, Pittsburgh. Since you're watching this, you must have asked yourself at least once, what is a daily office and what does it have to do with church? Well, my name is Brandon. I'm the pastoral assistant here at Christ Church, and I hope to be able to answer those questions and more for you today. First, let's start with the historical background of the daily office, and we'll turn to that font of wisdom, Wikipedia. Their entry states that the Anglican practice of saying daily morning and evening prayer derives from the pre-Reformation canonical hours, of which 7 were required to be said in churches and by clergy daily: Matins, Laude, Prime, Terce, Sext, Non, Vespers, and Compline. This practice derived from the earliest centuries of Christianity and ultimately from the pre-Christian hours of prayer observed in the Jewish temple. This was taken up by the Christian tradition, most notably in monasteries. Now, while the idea of a daily prayer is not completely unique to the Anglican tradition, we will be focusing on the Anglican version of the daily office. This came about due to 2 major changes. First was the closure of the monasteries under Henry VIII, and second was the publishing of the Book of Common Prayer in 1549. Under that version of the Book of Common Prayer, there was a daily office that included psalms, 2 readings from Scripture followed by canticles. Now we're going to go more into the modern version of this later. That under the modern version, we have morning prayer, which is a combination of matins and lauds, noonday prayer, which is a combination of terce, sext and non, and evening prayer, representing vespers, and we retain compline. How is the service structured? Well, for both morning and evening prayer, there's an opening, a confession, an invitatory, a psalm or psalms, lessons from Scripture, followed by canticles, Apostles' Creed, the Lord's Prayer, and then suffrages or prayers of the people, followed by a selection of collects, prayers of thanksgiving, and ultimately closing prayers. So what's not there? There's no sermons, and there's no Eucharist, though the rubric for daily office does allow for both of those to be included. So how was it used? Well, daily office was the daily prayers for parishes. Clergy were required to say the offices even if not done as a public service. And under some canons, in some jurisdictions and provinces of the Anglican Communion, this is still a requirement. Under the 1928 Book of Common Prayer, morning prayer became the regular Sunday service with the Eucharist being included once a month or less. Under the 1979 Book of Common Prayer, this changed back to the older tradition of making Eucharist the primary service on Sundays, with daily office going back to its original use as daily prayer. But at this point, it had fallen out of use as a daily service. Now, this is not to say that the use of the daily office completely died out. Many larger churches and cathedrals still observe it regularly, and it can be combined with Eucharist to serve as a Sunday service. And it can even be done at home by families and individuals. We'll cover this more at a later video. So hopefully you know a bit more on what exactly the daily office is, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to know more, check out our website at the link below, and if you want to try observing the daily office yourself, check out our video on how to do just that. Until next time, may the peace of God be always with you.